At the awards ceremony, my fiancé Ethan used the excuse of presenting me with an award to pull his mistress on stage and announce her publicly. I shrugged. He's just a man, out with the old, in with the new. My parents, we're withdrawing our investment and cutting ties. My sister, revoke the rights, I won't sell them to you even if they rot in your hands. Ethan panicked and came to me, head bowed to apologize. I waved my hand. What class are you? You think you deserve to speak to me? At the Magnolia Awards, Ethan was a presenter, and I was the recipient. Just as I was about to take the trophy from his hand, Ethan stepped back and spoke into the microphone. Today is a special day, and I have something more to say. Everyone fell silent. I stood to one side, watching Ethan as he uttered the words, Lily and I have been seeing each other for half a year. Today, I want to use this stage to tell her. Lily, confessions are better coming from a man. The audience erupted into applause, accompanied by jeers rising and falling. Lily covered her mouth, her eyes glistening, and it took the host's reminder for her to step forward. They embraced, and Ethan handed the trophy to Lily. I frowned from the side, took the microphone and laughed. I hear Ethan already has a fiancé at home. Are you openly asking Miss Lily to be the other woman? The applause below died instantly. Lily was stunned. Ethan, displeased, said, That's just the elders at home joking around. What era do you think this is? Surely no one still believes in arranged marriages. I looked at Ethan's disdainful face and couldn't help but smile. Well then, I wish you both a lifetime of happiness and lots of children. I dropped the microphone and turned away, leaving the trophy behind. I knew the entertainment reporters would have something to say, and the host was still on stage cueing me, Victoria, your trophy. I smiled at him, yours is fine. I certainly don't think Ethan did that without backing. After all, award ceremonies follow a protocol, and as the host he showed no ability to control the event. Let him have the trophy, maybe it'll teach him a lesson. I sat in the audience. The host looked a bit sullen. Whatever he said next I didn't care about. I pulled out my phone and quickly informed my family about Ethan. Since he called it an arranged marriage, I figured he probably wouldn't need our family's support anymore. The Schwe family is a third-rate household in the capital. If it weren't for their patriarch being acquainted with my grandfather, Ethan would never have become my fiancé. After enjoying all the conveniences our family gave him, he thinks he's something. Ridiculous. After the awards ceremony, I left with my manager. She was furious. Ethan did that on purpose, didn't he? Doesn't he know this was being live-streamed? A perfectly good award ruined by him. I patted her. Isn't this perfect? Start the PR right away. I want Ethan to come crawling, begging me to forgive him. I don't need him anyway, why should I put up with his temper? Helen looked at me, stunned. Decided? Of course. All right, I'm going now. Helen said, excitement all over her face. She's my cousin, she personally introduced me to the industry. She knows Ethan's background better than anyone. At the Golden Magnolia Awards livestream, Ethan made a grand public declaration of love, and Lily didn't hold back either. As soon as they stepped out they were swarmed by reporters. They posed together, radiating a feel-good, the whole world is ours kind of vibe. The only question was how Ethan would explain it once he got home. I gave him a cold laugh, glanced at him, and strode into the car. No sooner had I arrived home than Ethan and his parents showed up at my door. Ethan's face was red and swollen, he wore only a shirt on his upper body, and his body was bound with thorny vines. Was this him coming to apologize in penance? Victoria, it was Ethan who was confused today. It was all that Lily seducing him. He lost his mind for a moment. Can't you forgive him? The moment we met, Ethan's mother Cynthia grabbed my hand and shifted all the blame onto Lily. I found it ridiculous. Ethan wasn't a 3-year-old. Could Lily just beckon with a finger and make him lose his wits, publicly proclaiming it at the Golden Magnolia Awards ceremony? That was a live broadcast across the entire internet. He ruined my acceptance speech. I smiled without replying, and simply looked at my parents. My mother spoke up, that's not right to say, Ethan has been seeing Lily for 6 months, and before that, our Victoria and he were engaged. Put bluntly, Lily is the homewrecker, and your son enabled her rise. Cynthia's face darkened, then she turned to Ethan with feigned anger. You brat, why aren't you coming over to apologize? Ethan, however, lifted his chin. I'm not wrong. Marriage is a matter of freedom, love comes first. What engaged couple? Those are just feudal leftovers from the older generation, I don't accept them. If you two parents are going to force me, I'd rather run away from home. Victoria, you've had a modern education too, why are you such an old fossil? Ethan's words instantly made Cynthia's face go green. His father Martin gave him a pat on the head, not too hard, not too soft. Shut up. If you don't know how to speak, then don't. My mother's face was expressionless as she said, if that's the case, then the two families will call off the engagement and exchange the betrothal tokens. My father nodded, yes, young people have their own minds. Forcing a match never turns out sweet. My parents had known his family for years. If Ethan was unwilling, a forced union would be bitter, and they certainly didn't want me stooping to compete with Lily for a man. If this one won't do, then we'll find another. My mother added, that's decided. Once the engagement is called off, the two families will have no further dealings. Any future cooperation ends here. This was our bottom line. My parents just wanted to resolve it quickly, so I wouldn't get dragged into a love triangle later on, it would only bring bad luck. But that made Cynthia think our family was at fault. She immediately produced the engagement return token, seemed she always carried it with her, she'd long wanted to call it off. My mother inspected it carefully, confirmed everything, and returned their family's piece of jade. Ethan pocketed it, and Cynthia shamelessly said, you see, even though the engagement's off, business may fail but honor remains. I think Victoria is a fine girl, I treat her like a daughter. I pulled my hand back. That's flattering, but I already have my real mother who loves me. And my mom always taught me that someone who truly loves you wouldn't say one thing to your face and another behind your back. Cynthia froze. This child, how could she be like that? My mother sneered, that's her temper. If it were me, I might have laid hands on her. Cynthia was taken aback and wanted to say more, but my father had already shown her the door. Cynthia instantly flared up. The Leong family really acts big. Anyway, the collaboration is over, there's no need to meet anymore. Your standards are too high, we can't possibly reach them. Good that you understand, my mother said without the slightest courtesy as she escorted her out. She can't possibly think the Leong family only has that little capital, that 2 collaborations worth of cash flow would let her conclude our family scale is only that big, right? Forget it, with someone so short-sighted, there's no need to keep interacting with them. The butler showed them out. As they were leaving, Ethan looked at me, Victoria, your temper is too bad. If you were as gentle as Lily, I could never have. Smack. I raised my hand and slapped him. Ethan froze. Cynthia screamed, how dare you hit my son? Shouldn't scumbags be exposed? I'm being generous by not making a fuss, otherwise I'll release the video just now. How long do you think your son's declaration of true love will last? Cynthia immediately fell silent. Ethan glared at me viciously and said, Victoria, just you wait, this circle isn't something you can control alone. I snorted, not taking him seriously. Ethan's resources still depended on my family, what tricks could he possibly pull? I thought that was the end of it. But the next morning Helen called me, the planned Xinsha drama has been pulled. Damn it, they've replaced it with Lily. The moment she said that, I understood immediately, this was Ethan's resource given to her. Ethan had originally been the investor in this series, I only got the role through an audition, and I had negotiated well with the director. I never expected to be replaced at the last minute. Helen ground her teeth. That bastard, I won't let him get away with this, I'll tear that mask off his face. There's no need, just let her play the part. Her films are all trash anyway. There's too much dirt on Lily, she didn't need me to do anything, she dug her own grave. Still, there are people who pile on. The entertainment industry is full of resources. If you're not grabbing from me, I'm grabbing from you. At first I didn't take it seriously, I just thought it was a pity for the IP that this scumbag ruined. I don't care, but someone ignorantly leapt into my minefield. When the production announced the female lead had been replaced, Lily's fans instantly exploded with laughter. Our Lily is incredible. Announced yesterday, resources skyrocketing today. Lily is absolutely stunning, what's Victoria got going for her? Isn't it just that her family's a bit wealthy? The entertainment industry is all about reality, and my fans were not about to be outdone, they jumped in immediately. What's wrong with our Victoria? Is her acting bad now? She's had plenty of projects in 5 years since debut. Look at your side, how many works have they got? Same old catfish beard for ages, just whining boo-hoo. She's changed her face how many times now? This is version 3.0, settled down yet? Don't go changing again after 2 years, otherwise you'll only be found in the extras list. The two fan groups argued furiously, and Ethan's fans, unwilling to be outdone, also jumped in to stir things up. Sister-in-law is the best, sister-in-law is amazing, Victoria get out of show business. Victoria's face is really a mess. How much filler did she get last night? Her face is totally ruined, no amount of whitening serum can save her. The three fandoms stirred up a huge commotion, and many people went to my comment section and DM'd me, "Sister, aren't you going to say something?" Seeing them defend me, I simply posted, "On a break, resting for a while before coming back." My fans, comforted by my words, quieted down for the time being. Ethan still asked to meet me. Since we still had an engagement and some financial ties before, and now that he asked to see me, it was the perfect opportunity for me to make things clear. When Ethan saw me he strutted in, tossing a stack of documents in front of me. "You can't play in that Wanley Peach Blossom. This is the compensation." I glanced at it and scoffed instantly. Trash script, Lily wouldn't even want it, right? Victoria, although this is a web series, the characterization is actually good. The vicious supporting heroine really stands out, as long as you play her well it'll definitely be fine. After all, it suits you, a natural fit. Helen couldn't hold back any longer. "Ethan, you must have a screw loose." I stepped in front of Helen and faced him. "If I can't play in the 1,000-Mile Peach Blossom, then Lily won't either." "Ethan, did you buy the original novel's rights for this film?" Ethan looked stunned. "What do you mean? The rights?" "Of course I did. I'm warning you, don't lay a hand on Lily, or I won't let you off. TSK TSK, may the best person win. From today on, we're enemies. If you dare steal my resources for Lily, I'll snatch your projects, let's see who's tougher." Ethan instantly flew into a rage. "Victoria, don't go too far, what makes you think you can do this?" I turned to him and sneered. "What makes me think so?" "Ethan, just wait. This IP will be mine. You stole my female lead, I'll make sure she can't even get into this production." After leaving the office, Helen asked me, "Do you have a good plan? Do you know where to buy the rights?" Apparently the original author still hasn't shown up, no one can reach them. The reason this all blew up now is to force the author out, word is the site has already struck a deal. It's useless. No matter how good the deal, there's nothing to be done. Helen looked stunned. "What do you mean? You didn't know? The author is my sister, there's no way she'd sell it to someone else." She froze. "Vivian? Congratulations, you got it right." I pulled out my phone and called my prolific but temperamental sister. Vivian was woken from her sleep by my call. In a dark tone she said, "Victoria, if this isn't an emergency, don't wake me up, I'll skin you alive." Her temper was still so fierce. I sighed, "I've called off the engagement." "Good riddance. That brat never deserved you." But he gave the drama 10,000 miles of peach blossoms to Lily, the novel rights are in your hands. What? I was about to sign the contract, that little bastard. Don't sign it, sell it to me directly. My sister immediately laughed. We're family, no need to go through formalities. That kid actually dared to offend you, I'll give it to you. I don't know what method my sister used to loosen things up over at the website, but they officially announced the rights belonged to me. Helen and I started anew, opened another film company, and became our own bosses. Overnight, the massive IP of 10,000 miles of peach blossoms suddenly became a hot topic. Who would have thought that the morning's announcement of a new female lead would, by the afternoon, return to my hands? I wouldn't star in it, but it definitely wouldn't be Lily. Ethan instantly flew into a rage and called me, Victoria, what did you do? How did the rights end up with you? Nothing much, probably because I have money. Who's as stingy as you? You're a producer and an investor, but are you willing to put your money in? You expect original creators to work with you with the little cash you have, what are you thinking? Lily's got it rough too, sticking with a stingy cheapskate like you. I showered him with ridicule until he was rendered speechless. After hanging up, I blocked him and then added on Instagram, don't lose it, everyone, I'm just modestly wealthy. Ethan and Lily's fans instantly erupted. Victoria, have you no shame? Thinking you can grab resources just because your family has some money. I laughed, scrolling through the comments and picking replies. Right, you're not wrong, I do act like I can do whatever I want because my family is rich. I'm my own boss, I don't have to work for anyone. Feels great. If you don't like it, tough, go convince the author to sell you the rights. Also, my family makes fishing rods. Go ahead and boycott if you want. I'm kidding, fishermen don't care about showbiz. If they tried to boycott our stuff, they'd never be able to buy such good rods again. My comment sent the fans into hysterics. Victoria is the best, Victoria rules. No wonder Victoria said she was going to take a break, turns out that was a big move. Said she'd rest, but in 2 hours she'd already taken the whole thing back. Yesterday's awards ceremony really made me furious. The lead actor was accepting an award, and that jerk grabbed the trophy to announce his relationship with his girlfriend. Does he have no shame? And the host didn't have any sense at all. How do you even control a scene like that? With me backing them, my fans are fierce, they immediately tore into the organizers. The Golden Ulan Awards never expected that after so many years, a proposal would suddenly pop up. The host was even more terrified and rushed to apologize on Instagram. I'm sorry, I didn't expect it to happen so suddenly, so I thought I could use the stage to share the happy news with everyone. I was stunned at the time, I made a small mistake. He even announced, your trophy is still here. My fans and bystanders immediately rushed forward. A small mistake? This is Victoria's first Golden Ulan Award in her 5 years in film, such a momentous occasion, and you let a scumbag make a public declaration of love. Even as a bystander, I think the host was unprofessional. After working in this industry so many years, you just slack off, and when something unexpected happens you can only go along with it. That shows you're really terrible. The host was also a senior figure in the industry, but much disputed because of his bad reputation. Now that he'd run into me, he immediately lost his composure and started trading insults. I hadn't expected it to go that way either, when Lily jumped in. Thank you all for your concern, I'm really fine. I hope everyone can pay more attention to our work, I will keep fighting against capital. The way she put it made it sound as if I were the unforgivable face of capitalism, and she was bravely struggling to overcome adversity under my oppression. She made herself sound so inspirational, instantly reducing me back to my original vilified image. They call me the evil capitalist, she really made me laugh. Is Lily really not afraid of being exposed at all? Knowing I'm capital and still daring to oppose me, even to slight me, she must have Ethan backing her. But the more I thought about it, Ethan clearly doesn't know the true strength of my family, which is why he's so brazen. If that's the case, I have to teach them a lesson. The rights to Wanli Peach Blossoms are mine. I started casting across the whole internet and replaced the original director. I invited the renowned industry director Christopher. The entire internet was watching, and Christopher's involvement made this major IP heat up even more. He's a director who's produced quite a few hit dramas, with him on board it won't go wrong. Even though some people whisper that I'm the evil capitalist, when there's such a big pie on offer, you still come to take a slice. I'm not saying my team is the best, but this IP alone is enough to make people jealous. My sister, to help me get some vindication, signed the rights to 3 novels over to me in a row. All were huge hits back in the day, top 3 material, perennial chart toppers. A lot of people went crazy under her Instagram posts. Did Victoria save your life in a past life or something? You gave all those novels to her. If you're being threatened, just change your profile pic. Vivian immediately replaced it with a still from my scenes on set, and everyone was stunned. My fans were cracking up. See? I told you it was true love, but some people wouldn't believe it. What kind of clout would make Vivian voluntarily hand over 3 entire novels to her? Vivian is prolific, she has about 20 works. If she can give them all away, then fine. My sister didn't hold back either. She immediately posted on Instagram that she only works with me, that the novel rights are being negotiated one after another, and asked everyone to give us their support. That only made some petty people's eyes go red. They hadn't expected my backing to be so solid. Is there really nobody in the Leon family keeping things in check? I need to take a good look and see if there's any dirt on them. Hilarious, dirt? The carbon fiber fishing rod my father developed years ago was requisitioned by the state. That thing can secure his family for life. My father wasn't idle with the Schwe family either. Ethan kept prancing around behind the scenes and even bought a bunch of internet trolls to fling filth at me en masse. They even said there was some unspeakable secret between me and the novelist. Worse yet, they smeared me, claiming I used power and money to kidnap the original author. I laughed when I saw those rumors. What a shame if these people don't write novels, they'd be good at it. My father was furious and started ruthlessly cutting ties with the Schwe family. I didn't take it too seriously, but as the casting went on, Lily was the first to be excluded by me. Ethan was furious and came to the company to confront me, only to be stopped by security downstairs. He called me, and I blocked him, so he reached out to Helen. Out of consideration for their mutual acquaintances in the industry, she answered the call. "Give the phone to Victoria." After I took it, I heard him say, "Victoria, you're ruthless. You put on this whole show just to make me come back, didn't you? I told you it's impossible, but I'm still willing to give you a chance. Tonight we'll have dinner together, and you can let Lily audition for the role." Hearing him say that, I couldn't help laughing. What brand of trash bag are you using to hold so much? What makes you think I did this to get your attention? Ethan still didn't believe it. If not, why would you make such a big scene unless it was to win me back? Don't worry, I absolutely won't. You're talking nonsense. I couldn't help swearing. Ethan, without me your resources are garbage, take a good look at yourself. And let me remind you, your girlfriend isn't exactly innocent either. I warned him out of kindness, so the Schwe family wouldn't go bankrupt later. To my surprise, Ethan took it as if I were deliberately cursing him and shouted at me, "Victoria, you're disgusting." Disgusting? I was about to respond when he hung up. I blocked him on behalf of Helen. From then on, Ethan was dead to me. But when we later arrived at the audition venue, Helen hurried over. "Something's happened. Some bastard leaked your private video." I took her phone and glanced at the explicit video. Although Ethan and I were engaged, we'd never crossed any lines. Not only would we never film such lewd bedroom footage, we hadn't even held hands or kissed. I was usually as busy as a spinning top. When would I have time to play games like that? I shook my head. Call the police. I already reported it, but it's more complicated than we thought. After all, so many people are watching you. Look, my Instagram has already been swamped. Countless people flooded in to comment. So disgusting. Who would have thought Victoria, who seems so pure, is sleeping around? What a body. How much per time? How many big shots have you gone with? Bet those copyrights were begged for on your knees too? All sorts of indecent words flooded my eyes. Just as I was about to keep reading, a hand reached out and snatched my phone away. Don't look, it's all hate comments. These people are brainless. Just call the police and leave the rest to the legal team. Can I be serious about rehearsing? I was taken aback when I saw Max, who had boldly volunteered to audition across from me. Then I smiled and said, "Sorry, let's continue." Helen froze when she saw the two of us. You two are real drama addicts, still have the energy to audition at a time like this. What else? The arrow is on the string and must be released, no one can stop me from being the boss. Leave professional matters to professionals. After calling the police, I had the company's legal team immediately trace and lock down the IDs of those who spread the videos and the hordes of trolls leaving nasty reviews, and I sued them all together. Anyway, I have money. I don't need their apologies, I just need them to pay the price. That's enough. I replied on Instagram, AI face swaps, anyone with half a brain wouldn't fall for that. Also, I've reported this to the police. This time I won't let anyone who slanders me get away. The net of justice is vast and wide, leaving no gaps. Don't think that hiding behind a camera will make you invisible to me. Technology today is far more advanced than you imagine. Maybe it was my tough stance, but a lot of people lined up to apologize in my comment section. I didn't accept any of them. Even if you delete a post, I have ways to find you. Hiding behind your keyboards to hurl insults at me looks truly ugly, but seeing you line up to apologize to me looks even uglier. If you hadn't apologized, I'd at least respect you as a man, but I never expected you'd turn around and whine for my forgiveness. It makes me disdain you. My bold statement drew some applause from netizens. Max commented under it, "Exactly right. Online bullying is unacceptable, spreading it is basically a crime, that's jail time." Maybe because Max opened the door, people in the circle started speaking up for me, and at that point Ethan could no longer sit still. He probably realized that without our family's backing, the Schwe family in this city was nothing more than a third-rate clan. After my father had blocked 6 of the Schwe family's projects in a row, they finally came. My mother simply left them standing there, and after a long while Cynthia couldn't hold back. Future in-laws. The moment she spoke my mother cut her off. I've told you before, our families aren't becoming in-laws. Don't call me that, my daughter will still be getting married. Cynthia, shameless, replied, "Oh come on, they've been childhood sweethearts, what does it matter who they marry? Why not join the 2 families into one? Any household would do, my family could even have him marry in." After saying that she motioned for Ethan to come over, but Ethan didn't move at all. My mother just smiled and said, "Like I've said, it's better our 2 families don't associate. If you have something to say today, say it straight, no need to beat around the bush." Cynthia's face was awkward. "Actually, I'm here to apologize. Please, have mercy, our family can't take this." "Fine, then have Ethan admit that he and my daughter are unmarried partners and that Lily is the homewrecker. Only then will I let you off." Ethan immediately broke down and refused to admit it. "I won't admit it. Lily and I are true love." "Then I can't help you." My mother shrugged and signaled the butler to see them out. Cynthia had had enough. She raised her hand and slapped Ethan hard across the face. "You've been bewitched by that vixen. Hasn't she already ruined our family enough? I'm telling you, if you don't admit it, I'll post it on Instagram. No, if you do that you'll lose me forever. The Leong family has gone too far, Ethan, absolutely won't agree to it." My mother smiled. See them out. She never liked dealing with those people, but Cynthia wasn't giving up. She waited at our door every day. That day I came back a little later than usual and ran right into her. "Victoria. Auntie, our families are completely done. Please don't make things difficult for me." I knew what she wanted to say, so I cut her off first. Her expression soured. "Victoria, I know Ethan from our family wronged you, but please don't keep fighting with her, okay? I don't understand what you mean. Ethan and I are both in the entertainment industry, we each rely on our own abilities. How am I targeting him? Are you saying those slanders against me were done by Ethan? She was instantly left speechless, while I sneered coldly, tarnish my reputation, slander my good name, do you think I'll let him off that easily? If it were your nude photos leaked online, would you spare them? Don't be so double-faced. If Ethan is really the ringleader, I will never compromise. Cynthia snapped angrily, you brat, why must you be so unforgiving when you're in the right? Be careful you end up unmarriageable. You'll be disappointed. Even if I never marry, I have money. With money, who worries about men? Out with the old, in with the new. She was so furious she nearly fell backwards, but there was nothing she could do. After all, everything I said was the truth. I told the butler to keep the door tightly guarded, and to hire 2 more rows of bodyguards. The moment anyone from the Schwe family showed up, they were to be thrown out. The police were efficient, too. They quickly discovered that it was Lily who had circulated the indecent photos, and she was taken away by the police while she was live streaming. For a while, Lily's fans were completely shocked. Victoria, was this you? You actually had the police take our Lily away, what are your intentions? Victoria, don't abuse your status as capital to bully people recklessly. Come out and apologize, what did you do to our Lily? I really admire these brainless fans. I'm not some big shot, just an entertainer. Now I want to run a film company, it's not that I have the clout to order the police to arrest people. Soon the police issued a notice proving that the indecent photos were indeed Lily's doing, and everyone was stunned when the news broke. I used my lawyer's voice to tell everyone that I would never let this go and would not settle. That finally panicked Lily, who then understood just how resolute I was. Ethan begged me, please, I'm begging you, let her go. I smiled at him, there's a proper way to beg, my mother always said you must ask with the right attitude. You have to do what she told you. But you'll ruin Lily like this. Did she not think her actions would ruin me? I can see it now, this whole family is the same, such double standards. You can think it over slowly, it all depends on whether Lily can wait. At his words he suddenly grew fearful, knowing I was serious. He could only clench his fists and grit his teeth, don't worry, I'll do it. Hearing him speak, I nodded, true love, indeed. Ethan suddenly announced his retirement from the public eye and exposed himself as a cad. Victoria and I were engaged. When Lily and I were together I had not yet ended my engagement, for that I apologized to Ms. Victoria. I hurt her, and I hurt Lily. Here and now, I announce my permanent retirement. Ethan ruined his own future, and netizens immediately erupted, he had fully blown up. My God, I thought the Golden Ulan Award thing was an accident, but I didn't expect he did it on purpose, choosing the moment when his fiancée stepped forward to accept the prize to announce it and catch her completely off guard, and he kept insisting it's true love. That scumbag is a real dog. He didn't show up today, did the police arrest him or something? My fandom has turned against him today. I'll never believe in love again. The Schwe family was severely wounded, to recoup their losses, they quickly sold the villa. Ethan's actions caused the Schwe family's business to take a nosedive, their investments failed and they lost a huge sum of money, and because of the withdrawal statement, brands one after another terminated their contracts with him. Although I had signed a letter of understanding, Lily's public image also collapsed. The homewrecker who rose to the top even deliberately slandered and defamed me. No one wanted to work with her anymore, and the brands and various endorsements she'd already agreed to all cancelled and demanded compensation from her. Lily's past dirt was exposed as well, she was fundamentally a serial mistress, had even been publicly beaten by the original spouse, and had undergone multiple cosmetic surgeries on her face. Ethan never expected that the true love he had pursued would be so disgraceful. He and Lily broke up amid a spat, and the paparazzi even photographed them fighting each other on the street. I laughed aloud the moment I heard the news. Back then he called it true love at every turn, vowed we'd never part even in death. Now that we'd finally overcome every obstacle to be together, he regretted it. By the time my IP for 10,000 Miles of Peach Blossoms had locked in its leads and was about to start filming, Ethan showed up on the set. He was holding a huge bouquet of roses when he saw me. Victoria, I was blind before. It felt like I was living in a dream, and when I woke up I realized I can't live without you. The place fell dead silent, everyone was watching him. Ethan had nerves of steel, he could say that with so many people looking on. I suddenly felt that eating so little in the morning was actually a blessing, at least I hadn't thrown up yet. Ethan kept talking to himself, can you give me a chance? Start over. We had an engagement. I couldn't help but interrupt him. Ethan, do you want to take a look at where you are and what you're doing right now? Aren't you worried Lily might come after you? Lily's getting beaten up by everyone now, our family doesn't need trash like her. I shook my head, clicking my tongue with a hint of satisfaction. Ethan, what a coincidence, our family doesn't need trash like you either. You're a real piece of trash. You crave novelty, which is why you went after Lily. You can't not have known how many shady things she had in her past, yet you chose to turn a blind eye, which is why you let her climb to the top. And now that she's in trouble, you're the first to abandon her. You don't even have the basic decency to be a good person, and as her boyfriend you're completely unqualified. I despise garbage like you, stay away from me. Ethan went deathly pale. After I said that to him, he still put on an act of tender feeling. Is there really no hope for me at all? I laughed. Are you competitive? The entertainment industry is full of handsome men. Compared to them you don't stand a chance, what makes you think I'd ever want you? Ethan froze, not expecting me to be so blunt. Victoria, in your eyes am I someone who can be replaced at any time? That it doesn't matter who becomes your fiancé? I shook my head. Of course not. Only someone with good character, who's handsome, and who has money could possibly stand by my side. Unfortunately, you possess none of those three. If it weren't for the ties between our families, do you really think the Schwe family would be worthy of standing next to mine? My words completely shattered Ethan, he hadn't realized he meant nothing to me. He nodded at the time and turned away, his back looking very forlorn, while I shrugged, everything I said was the truth. Ethan never contacted me again, and I was more than happy to have the peace. Lily fell out with him, supposedly she was pregnant and trying to force a marriage, how could Cynthia allow that? She packed Ethan off to a rich woman, and as for Lily, Cynthia beat her so badly she miscarried on the spot, pressed charges, and caused an uproar. But none of that had anything to do with me anymore. Production started on 10,000 Miles of Peach Blossoms. I was cast as the supporting female lead and also served as producer. Helen teased me, not going for the lead role anymore? As long as I want, I can be the heroine at any time, it's just that I like the role of the supporting female, it's complex enough, full of contradictions. I want to challenge myself. Helen rubbed my head without saying anything. After a week of shooting, Vivian arrived and gave a long set of directions, and at the end warned me, Victoria, I'm telling you, this is my baby. If you mess it up, I'll take back all the rights. She was trying to scare me. I wasn't scared at all, but I still hugged her and grinned, don't worry, I'm an award-winning actress. Seeing how familiar we were, everyone was a little surprised. Helen snorted from the side, they're blood sisters, don't be so shocked. Only then did everyone realize that Victoria and Vivian were biological sisters, no wonder she could obtain the novel's rights. Even Max looked stunned, then he said in a deep voice, I think you've picked the right pillar to lean on. From now on, give me a part in every production, whether a supporting role or a servant. If I act well, that'll be my retirement plan. The crew laughed. Max, who was usually so serious, really had a knack for dry jokes. I waved my hand and said, no problem. On the day 10,000 Miles of Peach Blossoms premiered, fans of several of us in the creative team took to the streets, stirring up such a frenzy that the whole internet knew about it. On the first day it aired, the numbers were gratifying. 10,000 Miles of Peach Blossoms became the clear number one in its time slot. My role as the supporting female appeared only briefly, but there was no denying the performance. At that year's Janulin Awards, when I went up to accept Best Supporting Actress, the one who presented me the award was a 3-time Best Actress, an honored predecessor whose expectations one cannot forget. Standing on this stage again, recalling all that happened a year ago, the light boat has already passed through 10,000 mountains.